To recent debt busters data, high debt levels are one of the reasons why South Africans simply cannot save. With July being National Savings Month, the South African Savings Institute is celebrating 20 years of promoting a savings culture in the country. Now, this year, they're doing webinars on expert ways to save, and they're open for students, stokvels, entrepreneurs, including women. To find out more, let's talk to, of course, the Institute's CEO, Mr. Gerald Mwandiambira. Thank you so much for your time, Mr. Mwandiambira. This is quite an important conversation to have. I'm just wondering, while we're talking about a savings culture and saving, the question is, do South Africans even have enough to save at this point?
Look, that's a valid comment, and good morning to all your viewers. It's really a situation that's been brought on by the COVID virus. Up till 2020, South Africans were showing signs of an improvement in their savings habits. But yes, the virus has pretty much wiped up a lot of the people who had savings, reduced income, and led to other people losing their income completely. So yes, it's a difficult conversation to have, but probably most relevant now because everyone has really felt the impact of having saved or not having saved because of the virus.
So not only because of the pandemic can we not save, at least the majority of us, debt as well is an issue that I understand, according to some data, reveals that South Africans can't save because they're heavily indebted.
Definitely. We still spend on average 3/4 of our salaries servicing debt. So definitely this year in our July Savings Month campaign, our theme is simply saving in your language. We're trying to take the savings message into the African languages and vernacular because one of the ways in which financial exclusion occurs is through language. And hopefully we can at least have more mature conversations around savings in African languages and all the languages spoken in South Africa, because one of the reasons people end up in debt is because they can't translate or read financial contracts which have long-term financial consequences.
Yeah, that's a very important point to make there, just making sure that you bring the message in one's language which they can fairly understand. Let's talk then about making, ends meet, because yesterday that was part of the, viewer question we had posed to our viewers, whether they can even barely make ends meet, given that today fuel prices are going up, and while you're still trying to, live from hand to mouth, then there's some increase happening in some way or the other. From where I am with the little that I'm earning or the little that I have, how can I save? Practically, how would you advise me to?
From a practical perspective, it's simply about getting started. It's not about the quantum amount or the amount you want to save. Try save a percentage, and really savings is an experience. The more you do it, or the moment you feel having enjoyed your saving having worked for you, your emergency fund having worked for you, you tend to do it more. So in our webinars, which are hosting through the month of July, we're also giving away small prizes to allow people to have extra savings with our partners, ABSA. But essentially what we're trying to say is, you just have to start. I know it's difficult. Part of our conversation this year also is about generating extra income, because if you cannot, there's two ways of saving. Either you increase your income or you cut down on your expenses. Most people are probably living within their expenses as much as they can right now. So we will be talking, like on one of our webinars, about the mompreneur or the small businesses, because there are areas in the economy where people are able to make extra money and save a little bit more. But yes, we are fully cognizant of the fact that for most South Africans, this is a very difficult time to be having that savings conversation. But also, we've also seen growth of things like stokvels. They're back simply because the power of the group is one way of empowering yourself and saving that little bit extra, because the group encourages everyone to chip in and basically save for a rainy day.
Yeah, interestingly, part of the groups that you are inviting to join the webinars amongst the stokvels and entrepreneurs you mentioned include women and students. I was just talking to Gareth, that, students still expected to pay their school fees, yet they're still not getting more value for money because they have to be home. Some of them don't even have resources to study adequately, that is. But also women are now at a disadvantage, just in terms of when we're looking at how many people or which gender groups have to be laid off due to COVID-19. It seems women are still, part of those disadvantaged.
Definitely, I think one of the most important webinars we have, and the one we have the highest subscription so far, is the women's one, because women are carrying homes. The home has become an office. The home has become a school. Yet the breadwinners also, in some instances, have lost income. So the home has even become a counseling room in terms of wives carrying husbands, or breadwinners who have lost income, or they themselves impacted. And you've seen the growth of the mompreneur, the one who wakes up, who goes online and finds a way of just earning that extra income. So yes, women are very important in terms of the savings discussion, because they're often the most impacted when things like pandemics occur. So we will be having that discussion on the 28th of July on our last webinar as we prepare for Women's Month.
That's an important one. I really encourage every woman watching this to attend to those webinars. Now, the South African Savings Institute celebrating 20 years of promoting a savings culture. What is the message for this year? How are you differentiating your theme this year?
Well, we're simply saying you're saving in your language. It's got a double meaning. One is the language you communicate in, but secondly, it also could be translated as saving in your own way, your own personal economy, your own personal universe. It's not about what the neighbors have been doing, what your colleagues are doing, because now everyone is pretty much on their own. So you save in how you feel it works for you. So we don't have the magic formula or the magic wand, but the main message is save as you want to save, in how you understand saving, but do get started. To log on to the webinars, it's simply you log on to wastosave.co.za, wastosave.co.za, and there's a webinar for everyone. I think we are reaching a point where as a nation, we understand that everyone needs to save. July is established as Savings Month, but we really now need to go to the next level of making sure that everyone is comprehending and saving as best they can.
Gerald, I appreciate this conversation and you highlighting it for us. Thank you for your time. South African Savings Institute CEO, Gerald Mwandiambira.